Can't even get this open. Oh, lads. That's that finished. Yeah. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode. It is episode 7 and we are getting into the thick of it. We signed off week 8 of this training cycle with some positive lifting, shall we say. Everything's moving forward, kilos are going up, and it is feeling better week to week. So here we are on day 1, it's Monday. We have 190 kilo for triples today, and from what I can remember, these are moving pretty well. Again, last week we just hit them for doubles, this week we're hitting them for triples. Overall volume is increased, and again, just keeping it very, very simple, building a bigger base and ramping up slowly and steadily. So that was the first set there. Again, felt very comfortable and I was pretty hyped after that set. Now, as you know, I like to record the final set as well, which is my little trick for the mind. This is set number, I think, 5 here, I believe. So, yeah, it's moving very, very well today. Shout out to Sligonian Crude for all your natural beard oil needs, should I say. Now, yeah, so squats moving very, very well. It's pretty much dialed in, to be honest, and this just comes down to the process, taking my time, and as you know, I've been repeating myself the last couple of episodes. It just takes time and it takes a little bit of patience to build. So that was the last set there, and I am absolutely hyped, delighted with myself. Oh, a wee hip wiggle. Woo, 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 loving it. Oh, what we got going on here? Oh, we got a little bit of caffeine, huh? Oh, Sneaky Dave, huh? Oh yeah, can't wait to get this up the nostril. It's going to be lovely. Lovely, lovely. Oh yeah, here we go. Here we go. Loving life. One quick pause. Get it up there. Oh, hold on. Dave, that's not where you put pre-workout, is it? Unless you're a crazy person, like some people out there. So yeah, blending up some caffeine now before getting into some bench. Whacking the life off it. I just like to do this mid-session just to keep that energy up. I usually have like a black coffee before I start, and then I get stuck into a little bit of caffeine about halfway through the session. Just about 200 milligrams. Nothing too major, nothing too special. So, after we hit squats in day 1, we are whacking into some bench press. We have 137.5 kilo for some triples. Again, we're taking our time. I also changed the old t-shirt to an A7 bar grip t-shirt. Just allow me to grip the bench that little bit more. Some benches can be slippy, you know. I think some people go into this a little bit too much. You know, if, you know, just get yourself a wee A7 t-shirt or throw some bands on your bench. That's all you got to do to fix that little grip issue that you may have. So, I must say, bench, again, this is just coming off from last week. Progress is really feeling good. Slow and steady wins the race. We're building that base, building the volume. We will be pushing the variations on the main lifts a little bit harder for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So it's going to be pushing the variant lifts like pause squat and pause deadlift that little bit more. And the main lifts we're just building base and volume. Look at that, looking you straight in the eyeball. So thought I'd hit you up with this angle, crotch angle, just for something different. And again, I like to use this angle. All angles are just analysis for me. I just like to see from different perspectives and see which way my body's performing. So this is my final set. Plates scattered all over the shop. So pulling out towards that belly button, pulling it down into the chest, and then driving that sucker up. Good control. I'm very confident with where the bench is going. It feels very comfortable, and I'm very, very excited to see what happens over the next couple of weeks. That's it for day one. We're into day two now. We're going to hit some deadlifts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Day two. I have the hoodie on, I have the hat on, I have my knee-length socks on. It is chilly up in here, but not until we get warm anyways. So, deadlift is something that I've changed around a couple of bits and pieces over the last, I'd say, year or so. But one of the things I've done recently is I started warming up with a slightly heavier weight. So I'm warming up with 110 kilo as opposed to 60 kilo. I do an extensive warm up before I start moving the weight anyways. So I'm pretty warm and I'm pretty moving, and 110 is pretty sub-maximal for me. So it actually saves me on my amount of warm-ups I need to do to get to a top set, and allows me to conserve that little bit of energy. But again, it's all relative to you and what you're capable of. For me, that's just in my capabilities. But for you, if you're warming up with 60 kilo right now and that feels good for a warm-up, just keep rocking. Now, as I said, I don't always start with 110 kilo for every time I do deadlifts. Just at the moment, it's where my strength level is at right now, so I can warm up with that amount of weight. And again, it's just about conserving energy when you're moving up to those maximal kind of weights. So, deadlifts today, we have some top triples. I believe we're going to be working with 220 today. This is 160. And again, just working on being patient off the floor. With sumo, it's just very important to stay patient and just get comfortable in that bottom position. And don't be afraid to hang out there for a wee second or two. So this is my final warm-up. We're whacking on 200 kilo. Again, this moves like butter. Very comfortable. Pulling the slack out of the bar, sinking the hips down, lats are tight, pushing the ground away hard with my feet. Being patient in that bottom position. So here we have 220 kilo. Again, we're just building some volume, building some base. So we're going to hit this for some triples. My little walk up and down. I literally do this for every single set. I adjust my belt, hands go up, squeeze them shoulder blades together. And again, it's all about finding a setup that works for you and finding a groove, a pattern that allows you to kind of focus yourself and get in the rhythm and the routine of the movement itself. Routine and rhythm are big things. Rituals, we're very ritualistic beings. We love rituals. So if you can create a ritual for yourself for everything, it makes a massive difference. So let's just see how we move this. I think this is the first set. Nice and comfortable. Position is very, very comfortable. And again, just taking my time. I'm not trying to move that weight as fast as possible. I'm just trying to let the process take care of the movement, if that makes sense. I think we can get caught up sometimes in trying to move stuff as quick as possible, and this often leads to a breakdown in form and technique. I always say don't mistake speed for power. So just taking your time and being a little bit more patient with it. This is the final set here, and I'm pretty certain this moves comfortable again. Taking my time. Getting those lats nice and tight, sinking the hips down, pushing that ground away. And if you look really closely, I pull the slack out of the bar by tightening my lats. All that's left to do after that is just push the ground away with my legs and drive it up. Boom. Yeah, boy! So that's the final set of deadlifts, and we're going to be into some bench press now. What is happening, you legends? So it's day two. We're after smashing some deadlifts. And if I'm honest, I am feeling absolutely weathered today. So we're sipping on some caffeine before getting into some long pause bench. 2 count pause bench. So it's when you're tired, the body has all sorts of protection mechanisms to tell you stop, slow down. That little voice, it never really goes away. You know, the voice of comfort. Oh, no, stay here. It's okay. It's good. It's comfortable here. You can chill out for the day. Just take a rest, take a break. You're all right. But if you want to make progress, you have to kind of tell that voice to, because it's just how you're going to make progress. It's how you're going to move forward. Unfortunately, you know, people sign on to some fitness plans or hire coaches, and they think they're going to give them the answer. They think they're going to give them this secret that nobody else knows. But in actuality, there is no real secret. That voice never really goes away. You just kind of have to get into the habit of pushing that voice to the side, you know, saying good luck to you. Chat you later, pal. Now, granted, there will be days where you feel like an absolute bag of shite. But, you know, if the days where you just feel a wee bit tired and you're kind of, you know, it's going to be a wee bit more comfortable just to chill at home and relax, get off your hole and get moving. Get up, get going. I promise you, if you get into the habit of telling that voice, good luck, it just becomes kind of second nature. And then when you are really tired and when you are absolutely wrecked and flaked and whatever, you know, then you can kind of say, okay, I've earned this one. But until then, get the work in, get after it, and get going. As I said, I'm feeling absolutely weathered today, so I could dig a little bit deeper for some of the sets. But look, that's just the way it rolls. It's not all glamour. You know, what you see on the old social media, everybody's not all pepped up all the time. And if they tell you they're pepped up all the time, they're full of shite. So, can't even get this open. Oh, lads. That's that finished. So, that's my little 2 cents for today's section on 2 cents, that little voice. Oh. Let's get cracking with some long pause bench. Oh, boom. Woo, we are back. Did you like them knowledge bombs? Again, just my little 2 cents on the subject. So today, we're hitting some bench press. We have some long pause. That's just one of my warm-ups. It's actually my second warm-up. We actually hit 140 kilo for the first time this training cycle. We're hitting it for a 4x4 with a 2 count pause. Again, we're pushing the variance a little bit harder over the next couple of weeks, in the hopes that it makes my top end a little bit more powerful when I can let the shackles off. So I smashed on some bench press there. We had a 4x4. Again, that felt very, very comfortable. After the bench press, we moved into some squats. And again, this is after hitting squats the day before. But it's good to get in that extra little bit of volume and move that weight. Again, if you want to be good at something, you just have to do it doing it a little bit more often can make a massive difference just with the overall groove of the movement, how the movement feels, and you're basically doing something called greasing the groove, which makes it a little bit better, a little bit smoother to move. And that's kind of how we rock and roll with that. So after this, we finished up with some accessories, and then we get into day 3. Hello and welcome to day 3. So we have some pause squats today, as you guys know that have been following along. Thursday is pause squat day. Yes, boys. Now, and girls. So, as I said before, we're going to be pushing the variant lifts hard for the next couple of weeks and just building volume on the main lifts. So that means we're going to be pushing pause squats and pause deadlifts for the next couple of weeks in hopes that it gives me a good return for my investment in a couple of weeks' time when I get to let the shackles off. That was was my final warm-up with 190 kilo, nice wee single, and that's when I knew 200 kilo was going to feel good for today's sets. So that's the way we're going to be rocking it. Again, this is what I had in mind for this week. This is kind of, I always get a rough idea. I assess the program a week ahead, and I kind of get a rough idea of where I need to be in terms of weight, RPE, what it's going to be in and around. So 200 was on my mind for today, and again, it's feeling very comfortable, and it worked. It's looking good. I think what I do a lot of the times is I kind of visualize what I want the week to be like, and what I want it to look like, and how I want it to feel. Sounds hippy-dippy, but for me, that's a process that works. I kind of envision exactly where I want to go with each week. So I looked at this week's layout, and I was like, right, okay, I want to push at least 200 for the doubles on my pause squat. And then obviously I filled in the blanks with the rest of the movements. So this is my final set here with pause squats at 200 kilo. Again, this is just staying patient under the bar. Don't rush it. Let your process take care of the movement. Boom. Fly it up. So what I would have been guilty of in the past is trying to rush through each set and not spend as much time under the bar, because I was like, I need to get in, get it done. I'll die under the bar. I'll be wrecked. But again, it's not the case. You know, you're not going to be falling over, so don't be panicking about that. Oh, look at that, Sass McGee, and away he walks. So much sass, girls and boys. So after that, we whacked into some fives on comp bench. We're working with 110 kilo today. Again, as I said, we're not working with major weight in terms of the main lifts, but we're going to be pushing the variance a little bit harder. So when we hit the sixth set there, boom, we whacked into some Larsen press, which again is just your feet up bench press. Making them vibes, loving life. I'm actually listening to some country and western music. Loving life, absolutely buzzing. Oh yeah, girls. Woo! Cecil. So often you can create your own vibe. You can have a little bit of fun with it and make yourself happy, you know. Vibe with your training. Get a good playlist, you know, make yourself get in that little flow of yours. So we're working with 120 kilo today. Again, this is the heaviest I've ever done with a Larsen press. So it's all gravy. We're building, we're working hard. So something I like to do with the Larsen press is I like to make sure my scapula or my shoulder blades are retracted or pinched together as hard as I can. Even more so with the Larsen press, because I find your shoulders are very easily rotated in this Larsen press. So getting them a little bit tighter before I start really makes me stay that little bit tighter during the lift. So that felt comfortable. We finished up with some accessories after this, and then we have day 4 coming up. Hello and welcome. Day 4, finishing out the week strong. We have some pause deadlifts on deck. We're going to be hitting some doubles today. Just like Thursday's workout, we're going to be hitting some tasty twos. So this is my very first set. Getting warmed up, taking my time. I do quite an extensive warm up before this again. Just moving around, getting the blood flowing, because it is quite chilly. So for any of you guys that are still training, who are still able to train, or just in general, just make sure you do a little bit of moving before you start. Get the blood flowing, get the body primed, ready to rock and roll. So we're warming up here with 110 kilo. Just hitting it for some reps, just to get moving and grooving. I think as well, with the likes of this, like, the owl patience has improved massively. You know, I would have had a problem, let me say, with rushing lifts, you know, like pushing through too quickly and not enjoying, well, not that I wasn't enjoying it, but I was just kind of rushing each set and trying to get in and get out basically. But I find that ever since I switched my mindset to being a little bit more patient with each movement and just taking my time to tick the box and execute each and every movement, each movement has got much better, and I can feel out each movement much more accurately in terms of calling numbers with how I'm feeling on each day. So I'm focusing on, when I'm building up here, I'm just focusing on letting the process take care of the movements, but I'm also putting the same amount of force under the bar with my warm-ups all the way through. I'm switched on. Now, don't mistake that for trying to move it as fast as possible. I'm just applying a good amount of force. I think sometimes we can get mixed up between power and speed. Speed is not power. So trying to move something fast doesn't mean you're strong or powerful. Often when you try to move things fast and it's on that edge of being a little bit heavy, we can see a breakdown in form here. We can see a technical aspect of it, or a technical aspect breakdown. So what I try to do is I don't focus on speed. I just allow my body to take care of the process. So I let basically my little technique, my build-up process of, clipping my belt, putting my shoulder blades together, every way I step towards that bar in every set is the build-up process. It's my process that allows me to get the bar moving. So everybody's going to be different. Everybody has their own little process, and you need to take time to figure your own process out. So we are into our top wee set here. As you notice, the top came off. I had to throw the old vest on, woo, looking well, looking sharp. Under that lighting, it makes me look like I actually lift, so I'm happy out with that. Now, as I said, we're pushing the variant lifts that little bit more. So we're going to be working with 230 kilo today. Now, it's the same way every single time. And again, we're hoping to just push those variant lifts that little bit more over the coming weeks for a nice wee return. And this seems to really help me build the top end of strength. It just allows me to get comfortable. From a mindset point of view, if I know I've paused repped, if I've taken something for a paused set, I know I have it in me, no problem. So I think at the end of this cycle, I've definitely a couple of goals in mind in terms of the paused variations. So I'd like the pause squat. Beautiful. I'd like the pause squat 220 for a double, and I'd also like the pause squat or pause deadlift 260 for a double. So we'll see if that happens. As you'll see, that's looking very, very comfortable, but I like to build momentum and like to gather that momentum into each week and each month. So we're on a wee front view now, and here we go. Ba-boom. Stepping up to the bar. Again, I know it's not maximal weight, but even when I did test a couple of months ago, my process has changed a lot. I don't really get hyped up as much anymore. I stay a little bit more calm and a little bit more focused. But I have made a little agreement with myself, right? So my little agreement is when I grab the bar, I'm calm. But as soon as my hands touch that bar, whatever way it is, my brain just switches and it flips and I'm on. And that's what I've done in the last couple of months. And it's really helped me to start firing and get the body moving. So I'm calm. Once I grab it, I'm switched on maximum. Boom. Whack. That's it. That's just a little insight into my brain and my mindset with the way it works. So we finished this up, right? And we went into some touch and go bench press. Again, that's steadily building. We're working with 130 kilo today. After this, I didn't bother filming my accessory movements because, again, I'm trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter and a little bit sweeter. And there's only so much you can watch in incline dumbbell press and dumbbell row. So I'm hoping to improve these videos over the coming weeks. If there is anything that you'd like to see me cover, don't be afraid to give me a shout. Or just give the video a wee like, a comment, a wee share, and just tell me if there's anything that you'd like me to cover, as I said. So that's it for this week. Let's stay tuned for next Tuesday's episode. We're going to get into the thick of it. Peace.
Yeah, let's go. I'm unstoppable, do the impossible. I'm irresponsible, yet I'm phenomenal. I got an arsenal, I'm dropping bombs, No, I'm not stopping, no. Conquer the obstacle, To the top, here I go, think I'm chosen to be the king of rock, think the people have spoken. I can hear the tick-tock of the clock, I'm in motion. So now I'm gonna pop, causing all this commotion. Yeah.